Hey everyone! In this video I'm going to fully recreate this AMD website by using a Divhunt builder. I'm going to make fully responsive web structure with all of these awesome animations and interactions. Without further ado, let's go back to the builder and let's start building. I already made new project for this, so I don't have to lose time for that. Firstly, what I like to do when I start new project is go to the style sheet page and make changes globally here, which will make my building in the future much more faster and efficient. So let's begin. Firstly, I like to set my font sizes, my font family, to predefine colors and to predefine buttons. So let's go to the Figma, and before I start I need to know that for some stylings I will be using Figma, and for some stylings I'll go directly to the live site and use Inspect tool. So for now, let's go to the Figma and let's see what fonts I will be using. Here I made some small style sheet, as you can see, so it can be helpful for me. So let's begin. Firstly, I would need this font called Titanium Web, so let's go and install that font. To do that, I can simply go to the font here and go add more fonts. Now here all I have to do is type in the name of the font, so I will start typing in it, it will pop up, so let's click on it. Let's select a regular, 600, 700, and let's go with 900 just in case. So let's add font, and my font is successfully added. Now let's go back to the builder and set this font to my project. The best practice is to select your body, then go over here, select global body tag, and then change your font. I'll go here and you can notice it's here. Now, why set it on body global? Well, that's because it will be applied on every single tag, on every single page on my project. So in just one place, I will change this font everywhere. So that's why you set it on the global body. Now, all you have to do is hit refresh and font will be applied. Now, let's go and change these fonts here. So for the H1, I would need 55 pixels in font size, and I would need it to be bold. So let's go here, let's choose H1, and let's again set it globally. So I'll go here, set 55 pixels, it's already bold, so I won't touch that. For the H2, I would need 48, bold again. So let's again go and set all of these properties globally. 48, it's again already bold, so let's go for H3, it's 30 and bold. Let's go again globally, so let's go with 30, and this time I would need to set manually the bold. For the H4 I would need 25 and bold again, so let's set it here. Okay, it's 24, but let's put it precisely 25. And for the H5 I would need 20 and bold again. So let's again select the global, and it's already 20 and bold, so I won't touch that. H6, I think, yes, I don't need H6 here, so I won't set it. And for the paragraph I would need it to be 16 pixels, and let's go and set that directly to a body tag again. So I'll again select my body tag, select it globally, so it could be applied to anything. And let's go here, it's 16, and let's go with the regular. Now, again, why I applied it to the body? So every single text tag except the headings will inherit these properties here. For example, these paragraphs, these items in my lists, or texts in my buttons. So that's why I set it directly on a body. Now, the second thing, let's predefine the colors that we are gonna use in this project. So all I have to do here is go here on this brush in styles panel, click on the colors, and here I can start adding new colors. Now let's go to the Figma to see what we are going to need. We're going to need this simple black color, simple white, this gray, and this blue. So let's go and copy hex code for this gray color, and let's start adding them. So firstly, I'm going to click on this plus icon and set the name for my color. Let's go firstly with black. And here it will ask me to confirm it. I will confirm, and here I can edit the setting for this color. So let's set this simple black. Let's go again on a plus, and let's predefine our white color now. So I'm going to confirm again. It's the white by the default, so by just in case I will set it. Now let's define the gray color, and here let's select this hex code and paste it. Now hit save. We have our gray color, and the last one is going to be this blue. So let's add it as well, and let's input the values for the blue color. And I have my starter colors predefined here, so let's close this panel. And the next thing we're going to do is change these buttons, because I think that we will use just two styles for buttons. We have this gradient-like button, and we have this outline button. And before we start making that, you can see that this website have a black background on every single section and has this white text. So let's change that as well globally. And how can I achieve that? I can again go here, select body tag, and set it to be a global selector again. And now let's change the background color. Let's set it to be black, and let's set the text color to be white. And you can see the colors I saved are now here. For me to quickly use them, I can just quickly click on them, and they will be applied to my tags. So here let's click white, and you can notice that every single section here, or in my case it's simple divs, has gotten the background color of black and color of white. And that is why I set that properties on my body tag. Now let's again continue, and now let's style our buttons. For this example, I will set stylings to the classes, because I want to reuse these buttons multiple times on my project. So let's begin styling them. For this button with a gradient, I will show you one cool trick. But firstly, let's select this class here, go into the custom code, and let's remove everything from here, because I don't want these predefined values. When I hit save, it will lose every single property. Now let's go to this website, and let me show you one cool trick. Let's pause this slider so it cannot interrupt with me. So when you want to copy some stylings from some web page, and you want to copy precisely as they are on web page, and you don't have design and don't know how, well, for your help comes the inspect tool. All you have to do is right click on the tag you want to copy styles and click on the inspect. And now you'll get this pretty confusing window here. And let me quickly explain you what it is. This here will show you the HTML structure, and you can see that as I hover here, it will highlight the things here. So let me really quickly adjust this. Okay, so it's here. Now you can see that when I hover over things, for example, this div here, it will highlight this text, and I can open them. And on the right side, I can see all the stylings set on that div. You can as well click here and precisely select div like this button, and it will automatically select it for me. Now, what I want to do here is find stylings for this button. I already selected it, so I can take a look at these stylings here. Firstly, I'm going to need this gradient and this border like here. How can I find out which settings are for those? Well, I can just go here and uncheck it. You will see that it lost the property of border. This means that this property here is for the border. Now all I have to do is go here and fully copy this code, go back to the Divhunt, and here let me select the class, and here I can just paste those properties. When I hit save and click somewhere else, let me zoom in, you will notice that I now have this top and right border. Now let's again go back, and before I continue, let's add some padding here. Let's go with 16 top and bottom and 34 left and right. So it could be a bit better for the eye. Let's go with 16 here. here as well, and 34 left and right. Now we have a bit more spacing to our button. Let's go back and let's find that gradient. I'd say it's this property, but let's uncheck it, and yes, it is. So I can again just go and copy it, and as you can see with Divhunt, it's pretty simple. You just select where you want to paste it, open the custom code, and just go here and paste your code. And now, just in a couple of moments, I've got the stylings for this button. Now, what this button lacks is the hover effect. Now, let me turn off this option here, and you will notice when I hover over that this button has this gradient hover effect, and let's copy it as well. All I have to do is again select this tag, and then let's turn this off. Here I need to click on this option and choose the hover. You will notice now that it's now only shows the hover state of this button. When I turn it off, you'll see that it's normal, and now it's hover. And here I can find where is the settings for the hover stylings, and you can see it here as it says it contains the hover selector, so it must be this property. So let's again copy it. Let's go back in here. Let's go again to the class, and let's type in the selector here of hover, not hover, but hover, and let's open these brackets, and we can paste our code here. Now when I hit save, you can see that my button has gotten this hover, but I don't want it to be this blinky, so let's go here, again select our class, and let's set the transition to our button. So let's go here, let's be all properties, it doesn't matter. Let's select it to be ease. 200 milliseconds is okay. And now let's check it out. And it's blinky again. So let's see why is that happening. Let's try and set these properties. Let's copy it from here so I don't have to reset it and set it to the tag. So let's put this directly on a tag to see if this will do anything. And it doesn't work. So the transition obviously doesn't work with the background effect, so I'll just leave it like this. Now I think that we are finished with this button. We have starting styles and styles for hover state. So now I can go to this outline button. Let's hide this, and let's choose this one for instance. Let's again open the inspect tool to see some details. We will need padding again 16 and 34, and we would need white border with transparent background, and on hover I want white background with black text. So let's make that really quickly. Again, I will set everything on class. Here I have this 15 values and 35, but I don't want them, I want 16. I'll hold Alt key on my keyboard and start dragging, so both top and bottom value will be adjusted, and I can do the same for here. Here I need 36, and here it is. Now what I want is I want transparent background, so I can go here to the color and just take this scale and put it all the way to the left. When I hit save, my background will become transparent. Let's add the text color to be white, just for our text to be visible, and let's set the border to also be white. And now I have my outline button, but it's not completed yet. It needs a hover effect, so let's again select our class, go here, and choose the hover state. Now what I want to happen here is I want my text color to become black and my background color to become white. Now when I go here and close the hover state, it shall work, and you can see that it works perfectly. It also includes this cool transition. It's not blinky. That's because transition can be applied to the color and the background color. So with this, we are done with our buttons, we are done with our texts and section backgrounds. So I think we can begin building our homepage. For that, I will go here and open my homepage. Let's go back to the AMD website and see what we have here. Firstly, we have this navigation bar here, and let's start with that. With Divhunt, it's pretty simple to add some sections. You just need to go here to the elements. Into the elements panel, you just need to type in what you need. For this example, I need navbar. So when I type in navbar, I can choose between these options here to use one of these free navbars, or I can even go to the wireframes and type again navbar, and I'll get these simple versions. For this one, I will be using this here because it's quite simple. It contains this logo and these text links just as this one, but this one contains these icons which will I manually add. It's not a problem. Firstly, let's go here and let's reset this background and color options so it could inherit the options from my body tag. And let's go to this link and as well reset. Okay, it's set on a class. I won't be needing this class, so I'll just remove it. And now it's pulling the properties directly from my body tag. A logo is invisible because it's black. I cannot change that because it's image. And now let's begin building. Firstly, I would need a logo all the way on the left side, 4 text links, and 4 icons all the way to the other side. So let's go and let's begin. Firstly, I'll change this logo so it could be visible. Let's go and upload all of my assets that I prepared. All of these assets are well optimized and downloaded from the website. So if you're not sure how you can optimize your images, you can check out the video on the Divhunt YouTube channel for that. It could be helpful to speed up your website. And now when it's uploaded, let's see, for some reason I don't see all the images I need. For example, yeah, it hasn't uploaded my logo. So let's find it manually here, logo, and let's upload it. And here it is. I'll just click on use and my logo is changed. Now let's go and set these text links all the way to the left side. So I can just click here and it's pulled all the way to the logo. Now, what can I do here? I need some spacing here. So again, I can use the inspect tool here and let's see. I would need padding on the right side to be 26 pixels. No, on the right side is 56 pixels, my mistake. So let's go here. I can do that on the logo link. I can put the right margin of 56 pixels. And you can notice that I've gotten this space here. Now let's check out how long is this, how wide is this spacing between my links. It's 56 pixels as well. So let's go here and let's select menu this time. And I can type in this column gap here 56 pixels and the gap will increase. Now all I need is, let's close this and this. All I need is my icons. So let's go here. Let's make one div, which will be my icons wrap. So let's name it icons wrapper. Let's put it directly below menu. And here I would need, let's turn this off for now. I will need these icons, which will have this hover effect. So for that, let's put one div here, which will be my icon. And inside of it, let's put one image. So let's really quickly change this image. So let's see which one do we need. It's this user icon. So I again cannot see it here. So it had some problem with upload. So I can go again and let's find it manually here. It's user icon. I can upload it again and use it. And you can see it's here. Now let's put this icon all the way to the right. And how can I achieve that? Well, I can select this wrapper here. And now let's set this to be space between. Because I have 3 child elements, logo, menu, and icons wrap, it has put the equal space between here. So let's fix that. Let's put one div, which will be my navbar. left part. So let's name it navbar left, and let's put logo link inside of it and menu inside of it. Now all I have to do is make it be flex and make it centered. And now I have my logo and text links on all the way to the left side and my icon all the way to the right side. Now let's progress even further. Let's go and make this hover effect. And for that, I can go again and use my best friend for this example, inspect tool. I need the padding of 10 pixels, and I think that I as well need the border radius here. So yes, I need some small border radius. I'd say it's 5 or 10 pixels. So it doesn't need to be precise. Let's go to this icon div and let's set the first. Let's go with the padding. I'll hold shift on my keyboard and now just click and drag, so all the values will be changed. Now I have the 10 pixels all around my image. And now let's set this color. So let's see what color is set here. Again, because it's hover effect, I'll check this option here. And you can see that it's this color. So let's copy it. And I can go back again here and into the hover state. Let's go here, hover state. Let's set the background color. I want hex code, and let's paste everything. When I hit save, you can see that now when I hover in, it will appear as this background. But because I still haven't set the radius, let's go here, and while the hover state is turned off, let's select icon. While the hover state is turned off, let's set this background color here, so I can precisely adjust the border radius. Now I can go to the bot here, and when I set 5 pixels, let's take a look. Yeah, with 5 pixels, I think that is how much I need. Now I can go here and reset this background color. All that is left here is to set transition, so it doesn't appear this blinky. So let's go to the transition. Choose the ease here. You can choose anything you like here. I personally prefer the ease one because it's the simplest and it just looks nice. Now let's go to the live site to test it, how it looks like. Now when I hover in and hover out, you can see that this hover animations looks good. Now what I have to do here is I need let's go and close this window here. I need 3 more icons which will have space between them, and let's try to find out how big that space is. Let's see if it will let me. And no, I cannot. So I'll go, and I want to be precise here, so I'll put how much I like. Firstly, let's duplicate these icons. I'll go right click on this div and loop it. Let's in the loop field enter the value of 4. Now I have 4 icons here, and I'll just select this icons wrapper, put it to be flex, and let's put the column gap of 25 pixels for now. If it's too small, I'll just increase it. And now what I have to do is change these images. I will need this globe, search, and the cart. So let's go and fix that. And again, I cannot see them, so I'll just again go and find them manually here. So let's go with the globe. Let's change it. Now we need the search, I think. So I can go here, upload the search, and the cart icon is uploaded. I saw it, so I just go here and click on it. Now, when I go on the live site, I have pretty similar nav to this one. The only thing that lacks are these underlines on hover, and you can notice that this navbar is much more wider than mine, and I will fix that just in a couple of seconds. For that to be done, I will need to change the container width, and for that let's go to Figma and check how wide this container is. Now let's go and select this, and here I can see that it's 1792 pixels. I'll just go with 1800 pixels. Now let's go here, and on my container I will add one class. Let's name this class container dash big, and let's change the max width. As we said, it's 1800 pixels, and I'll put in the, let's select it precisely, I'll put in the 1840 pixels, because I want left padding to be 20 and right padding to be 20, and when you zoom these two, it's 40 pixels. Now let's see how does this look like. I can just go hit refresh, and you can see that my logo, my navbar, is almost the same width as this one on the left side. Now let's go and make this underline hover animations. So for that, let's go here and let's see what we are going to need here. Inside of this link, I will need to insert one paragraph and one div. And now let's rename this div into the underline, because this div is going to be our underline. And let's put a class to it. Let's set it to be again underline. Now all of these divs contain this class. And now what I have to do is, let's firstly change this text because it's too wide. Let's go with products, solutions. Let me change that really quickly. Products, solutions. And this one is resources and support. Resources and support. And the last one, I think it's shop. So let's name it. So I'll check out later if it's shop. Now what I need to do is style this underline. So let's again check out how I need to style it. I need this small gap between this underline and this text here, and I need it to set its background color to white, and it needs to be 2 pixels thick. So let's go here and let's begin our styling. Firstly, let's put its width to be 100%, because we want it to be as wide as our paragraph is. Let's set its height to be 2 pixels, and let's set its background color to be white. And now we can see the styles for our underline. Now let's go and set the bottom margin to this paragraph. Let's go and set 5 pixels. I think it's too much. Let's go with 3. And yes, 3 pixels looks perfect. Now, how can you make that cool looking animation? Well, firstly, let's set the width to be 0%, and I'll show you later, I'll explain you later on why. And now let's select our tag which we want to be hovered and then the animation triggered. In this case, it's this link here. So let's go and remove this predefined instance and let's add new one. Let's go here, let's go hover state, and let's select here into the selectors, children with class, and let's select our underline. And this instance that I made basically means when this tag here is hovered, you will target the underline tag, the tag with class underline, and you will apply the stylings that I will set now. So what I want to happen is I want my underline to stretch in the full width, so I need to type in the 100% here. So I'll type in 100%. And now I can just turn this off again, and now let's see what will happen. When I go here and when I hover, you'll see that it appears, but it appears again instantly. So here I will need to select my underline, go all the way to the bottom, and set transition. Again, I'll set all properties. Let's set it ease and 200 milliseconds. Now I can go here. And now when I hover, you can see that it works smoothly, but it comes from the left all the way to the right. And I don't want that to happen. I want it to come from the middle and go all the way to the left and to the right. So how can I fix that? I can here select link, go up here, set it to be flex. Let's set direction to be column, and let's set this and this to be centered, because I want this underline, which is 0% in width, be directly here on the middle. So when it stretches, it will equally go to the left and to the right. Now, when I go to the left side, you can see when I hover over, my underline stretches all the way to the left and all the way to the right. So we can say that basic styling for this number is completed, but let's check out to see if it's true. All it's left to do is to link this logo to go all the way to the home page and to link these text links. And after that, let's see these icons here. When I click on them, you can see this small pop-up appears, and we can do that as well. Let's do this one. I'll do only the one, so I don't lose time with all four of them. So not to make this video messy with length. So let's quickly make this pop-up here. And for the pop-up, there is one handy plugin called, I need to go to the settings, browse plugins, and there is a plugin called, let's find it, I think it's Popup. So let's find it here, and yes, it's Popup. So let's hit install, hit confirm. I just need to wait for it to install, so it could take some time. And after it's installed, I can go back and I can start working. Now let me show you one way of creating pop-ups with this plugin. It's you can make it with various ways. We have a tutorial on that topic as well, so I'll go and make it through components. So let's make one component here. Let's name it navbar pop-up. When I hit confirm, my component will be made. Now let's see what structure do we need here. When I click on it, I need this small box here, which will contain two text links and this separator. So let's see some detailed information here. I would need padding to be 10 pixels here, 10 pixels here, and let's begin by setting the padding. So let's here, I already have this div, but I'll add another one inside of it. Let's go with padding, set it to 10 pixels. Let's set the background just in case to see what we are doing. We need this color, so I'll just again copy it, go back here, open custom code and paste it here so I can see with what I'm working with. Now let's go and check out if this background has actually set, and it isn't for some reason, but I'll now just paste it manually. It's let's copy this part only. No, I need this part only. It's 0.63. I'll remember that. Now let's go here and here. Now I can paste these values here and 0.63. Now when I click and save, you can see it's barely visible, but it's here. Now it goes all the way to the right side, and I don't want that, so let's set it to be inline block. And now you can see it's small because it doesn't have any content. Now I can go here and continue working. Firstly, I need two text links and one separator. So let's start by adding two link buttons and one div, which is going to be my separator. So let's name it separator. Oh no, I made mistake. Separator. It's okay now. And here, let's set it to be 1 pixel in height and 100% in width. Now let's go and see what color do we need for our separator. I don't think I'll... Yes, it's bottom border. They didn't use a div, they used the border, but I'll use div. So it's 1 pixel in height and I need this color this time. So I'll just again copy it and in my separator, go into the background color and just paste it here. I need one bracket. And now let's see. Yes, we have our separator. Now let's see. I'll just close this one because I keep clicking on it. Let's see how much spacing do we need here. It's 10 pixels and 4 pixels. So we'll need 15 pixels, let's say, and 16 pixels left and right. So let's select this big button here. And let's set the top and bottom paddings of 15 pixels. And let's set it to be inline block because it won't have any properties if it's inline. It won't have any properties connected to spacing. And now here I need 16 pixels. Now let's remove this button and I'll just copy and paste this one with already made styles. And now I think that I overdo it with my paddings. So let's reset this one and let's reset this one. And yes, this is perfect. I just overdo it with some paddings. First one is my account and second one is create account. So let's change text as well. My account. And here is create an account. So let's check it. Create account without N. So let's remove that. Now, only thing that misses is this. Let me turn off this again. This small radius here and this triangle arrow-like. Now let's go here and let's put the border radius. Let's again go with 5 pixels. I think I'll need 10 this time, so let's zoom in and see. 5 pixels looks pretty okay. Let's try in 10, but I think it will be too much, and yes, it is too much, so let's stick with 5 pixels. And now the structure is completed. All that is left is to see how they made this div here. And you can see how they made it through CSS, but if you want to avoid making it through CSS, you can just let's do that actually. Let's go to the Figma and let's make one polygon here. I need a triangle, so I'll use polygon here. Let's make it like this, but firstly, let's see some dimensions that they used here. So again, my best friend inspect tool, and it's 20 by 10. And let me see if I can find the background color for it. Yes, they used all sorts of colors here, so I'll just copy this one because I like it. So as we said, it's 20 by 10, and here is our arrow. Now all I have to do is that is not 10 pixels, so let's increase it a bit. Now all I have to do is paste in these values for the background color, and let's increase its opacity a little bit. Let's put it to be 75%, and I think that we have our arrow ready. I just need to make this height a little bit better. It's too much squeezed, and I think that we have what we want. I can now go just click in the export, click on SVG and export it as popup dash arrow, and let's select our assets folder because this is where I store my assets for this project. Now I can go here and let's make small padding here, just I can see the top part of my div, and let's go here and put one image. Now this image is going to be, let's upload this icon really quickly, pop-up arrow. When I click open, it will be uploaded and you can see it here. Now let's go and set this div here to be relative because I want to position this here. I will set it to be absolute. Now let's put it on the top left side and let's put it, its height is 9 pixels. You can see that I missed 1 pixel in height, but it doesn't matter. So let's put it outside minus 10 pixels, or no, it's minus 9 pixels. And you can see it matches perfectly here. And all I have to do now is center it here. I think it's centered on their side. Yes, it's centered. Let's put the left value to be 50%, and you can see it's not perfectly centered. And to make it be perfectly centered, let's go to the button and set the transform option. I need move property, and into the horizontal I need to type in minus 50%, and now I think it's perfectly centered, and yes, it is. When I zoom in, it looks nice. Now I can just go and remove this padding here because I don't need it anymore. And you can see this arrow will stick out of my window here. That's because it's absolute and this div is sticking all the way to the top. Now, when this is made, let's go and apply it to our icon. All I have to do here is select this icon here. I can select here on the canvas. And now let's go to the settings, set transform option, and let's choose pop-up. Now in the settings, let's see what trigger they have. And they have it on click, so we'll also make it on click. Here I can choose the type. We made it through component, so I'll choose component. When I open it, here is the only component I have, and it's this navbar pop-up. Now let's go and add some additional settings here. For example, I want it horizontal line. I want it to be centered. Vertical line, I as well want it to be center, but I want it to be bottom outside. I want it to be on the bottom side of this div and outside of it. Now let's see what we else have here. Let's go with target, and for the target, let's select, let's try icons wrapper. When I hit save, let's go to the live site and see if our pop-up works. Now, when I click here, you can see it's appearing, but it's appearing all the way to the right side. To fix that, I can choose again pop-up, and let's turn off this target. So now when I check it out, it will be perfectly centered, but you can see it's sticked all the way to the icon, and I want it to be outside of it. So let's select our pop-up and let's choose the vertical offset. Let's go with 25 pixels. And again, when I hit refresh, it's too much this time. So let's go with 12 pixels actually, because we have 10 pixels padding here, so I think 12 will be perfect. Now you can see that it's perfectly matched here. You can see that we have this pop-up and I can interact with these links here, and when I click somewhere else, click again, it will disappear. Now all that is left is to make this simple underline hover. So let's make that as well because it's pretty simple. Let's select these links. Let's go to the hover state and let's go into the typography. Here on these three dots, I can set underline, and that's practically it. It's finished. except this one doesn't contain this. So let's make this short. I don't need to go and set it hover and set it underline. I can just go here, go to the custom CSS and copy this whole hover state, and I can just go here, paste it, click save. Now I can go hit refresh here, open my pop-up, my underline will appear, and you can see that it's pretty simple to make pop-ups here, but yeah, it's exactly like here. And if you see that my fonts here are a little bit smaller, that's because font here is not like font that I use. I use Titanium Web, as I said, and I don't know which font they use here, but I didn't want to use the same one, so I went with Titanium. And with this, we have hover animations and we have functionality. And I think that we are done here. The only thing left to do here is the final touch on some things. Let's set the pointer here to be not pointer events, my bad. Let's set cursor to be pointer. And now when I hit refresh, you can see that my cursor is pointer when I enter these icons. And with this, my navbar is complete. Now I can go to the next section, and next section is this here section with these cool looking tabs. So let's go and recreate that as well. Let's close this section, but firstly let's name it navbar, and now let's add new section. That section will be called here section, so I'll name it quickly. Let's add one container and let's add one div. This div needs to be inside of my container, and let's name it wrapper. Now, because we want this content to match with navbar, I also need a white container here, so I'll just go here and reuse my class, which is container big, and my contents with navbar and here section will match. Now, what I need for this section, I need this image, which is going to be my background. I need one h1, I need paragraph, and this gradient button, which I already made. So let's go here and into the elements. Firstly, you need to be sure that the plugin called tabs, let me find it here. Here it is installed, because we are going to do this functionality through the tabs plugin. Now let's go here. Let's choose the elements, and let's see where the tabs are, and here they are. And as you can see, we need autoplay tabs. I turned the autoplay off so it doesn't interrupt my work. We will need autoplay tabs here, and we will need these links to be under the tabs. So we don't need sidebars, and we're going to use this one for this example. I just need to click, drag, and drop it here. Let's check out if it's placed correctly. Yes, it's inside of my wrapper. Now all I have to do is change these navbars, change these content settings, and let's begin by setting these navbars to be under the content. So I can achieve that by selecting this autoplay tabs div, setting it to be flex, and hit column reverse. And now you can see it's right under my tabs. Now let's go and remove all of these default settings. Let's firstly remove this paragraph and tab content. Let's go here and remove all the paddings at the same time. You could see that I resetted them all in the same place. I didn't need to go from one to other and hit reset. Now let's go to the content, reset this background color, reset this color because I want it to pull from the body. I don't want this border, so I'll reset it as well. And onto the autoplay tabs, I will also reset this font color, so I want my text to be white. Of course, I can again go now to my links and reset values here as well. For example, this annoying white background color, and now I have my blank tabs and I can style them however I want. Now let's begin with the content. Let's put one div here, which is going to be content. And let's see what we're gonna do here first. Let's pause this slider and let's begin by making our section contain this image background. Now, let's go and input, let's go with one image and let's check out how high this element is. Let's go here and again my inspect tool, my best friend. It's 610 pixels. You can see under my cursor it says 608, but I'll go with 610. And with the content, I'll put a whole content tab to be 610 pixels. And why am I doing this with fixed height? You can do it with various ways like paddings and some other methods, but I'm going to put fixed height here because I want all, let me close this and this. I want all of these tabs to match the height. So in some cases there may be more text in more rows or some bigger image, and when you click everything will rescale, resize, and it won't be smoothly like this. So I'll set fixed height, for every single content to be exactly the same. So with that done, let's go and set this image to be background. So let's check this content there, set it to be relative. And this image tag, I want it to be absolute. So let's hit this center dot because I want it to be all the way around. And let's hit the width of 100% and height of 100%. I can now go to the settings and set it to be cover. And now you can see that I've successfully set this image placeholder here. So I can now go and change the image. I hope it's uploaded here, and it is not, so doesn't matter. I'll just go here, and here are my slides. So let's open them. And here is hero slide 1, so I'll just use it, and here is my image ready for use. Now let's go here and start filling the content. So let's add one div here, which is going to be my, let's again go with content wrap. Div wrap is short for the wrapper, so let's see what we need here. We need one h1, one paragraph, and this gradient button. So let's start filling those tags. Firstly, I'll put one h1, then my paragraph, and they're not visible. So let's make them visible. All I have to do is select this content wrapper, and because this image is overlaying over this content wrap, all I have to do is set this content wrap to be relative and set the z index. Let's go with 10. And now my content is visible. And the last thing to do here is let's close this component here because I don't need it anymore. Let's go to the pages and let's pin this style sheet because I want it to always be visible, and let's as well pin the home page. Now I want this button here, and because I made it at the beginning, I can just select it, hit Ctrl C on my keyboard and go back here into my content wrap, Ctrl V, and it's pasted. Now you can see how it's overlapping over my paragraph, and let's fix that. Let's select our button primary and set it to be inline block, and it fixed our issue. Now you can see that we easily reused those styles that we set at the beginning here. So now let's go and take a look at this spacing here. Let's again go with inspect, and I need 16 pixels bottom margin here and 26 pixels here. As well, this paragraph here needs to be 22 pixels in font size. So let's begin by adding these 16 pixels and 26 pixels bottom margins. And as we said, we would need this paragraph to be 22 pixels in font size. Now, let's go and change this text. Let's select it here, and again I can do this through the inspect tool as well. I can just double click here in the HTML, Control C on my keyboard, and I can go here, Control V, and I pasted successfully this content. Let's do as well for the paragraph. I can find it here. I can Control C. I think that I copied some extra space, and I did, so let's remove it. I don't want any extra space on my project. And now you could see how my content is going all the in full width, so let's prevent that. Let's set the max width and let's see how much I need. I will need here 900 pixels. So let's select this content wrap and set the max width of 900 pixels. Now let's set the width of 100%, and that's it. I have my text tags breaking through rows just like here. Now let's go and put this whole content into bottom left part of this div. How can I do that? Well, simply I can just select this content, set it to be flex, and I can put my content to go to the bottom and to the start. And now you can see that it's sticked just where I want it. Now let's see what I need here. I need this button spacing here, and I think it's somewhere around 25 pixels. So let's go here. I can put it directly on a content. So let's put a padding of 25 pixels. And yes, we have extra space here. Only thing is left here is to set the text to our button. So let's go here. I can type it manually, learn more, and that's it. We have our content structure. Now let's go and style these navigations here. So let's see what we have here. Firstly, I want 4 items or 4 navbar links, which will have this line here, which will be, fill like this, and then autoplay will trigger. As well, you can see how this hover effect is appearing here, so I will need that as well. So let's begin firstly by making it go in 4 rows like that, in 4 columns, my bad. Firstly, let's go and find this progress line. You would need to make sure that your progress line is containing a class of progress bar. It knows to bug sometimes, but it needs to have a class of progress bar, and you could see that it's visible now. I want it on the top side of this navigation here, so let's select it and let's set it to the top side, and that's fixed. And as we said, let's put this in 4 columns, so let's choose this navigation here, let's set it to be grid, and let's put columns to be 4. And here you can see how I have 4 columns. Now let's check out. We would need some spacing here. I'd say it's 15 to 20 pixels. Extra space here. And let's see how these fonts go in size. And it's 16 pixels, just as I said it. And we don't need this left spacing because we want our text to align all the way to the left. So let's remove this padding here, and let's go and to this navigation. Let me find it. Or no, let's select this autoplay tabs and let's set the rows gap. Let's go with 30 pixels, and it's too much. Let's go with 20 pixels. So we made 20 pixels space between our content and our navigation links. So let's go now here and let's put a gap of 20 pixels between my navigation links, and I would go with 25 here. 20 is just not perfect for me, and 25, it just looks good. Now what I have to do is change all of these texts really quickly, so it bothers me when it says tab 1, tab 2, and so on. And this is pretty boring part to do, but you need to do it. Oh, I clicked something. Let's go back and let's continue. Let's go here, go to tab 3, and finally for tab 4. So I can just paste it, and it already looks way better now. So what I need to do here is, firstly, when it's not active or hovered, my texts need to have this faded color. So let's check out which color they used here. And they used this gray-like. It's not like my gray that I predefined, but let's use it here. So now let's set it on this tab opener. Let's go here and into the color. Let's just hit it like this. And I think it's the same color they use here, but just in case, let's check it out. And no, I didn't select the right thing. It's here. And it's, let's copy this hex code and onto the progress line. Let's set this background color. And now it already looks better. Now let's make that handy hover animation, and let's go here. Let's select this hover, and let's set our color to be completely white. And now, okay, wait a second. Now let's see if that fixed anything. Let's go to the live site. And here you can see how when I hover over, my text here becomes white. And you can also notice that my autoplay line here is red, which is not like on the live site. They have white and they have it thicker. Mine is just too thin. So let's go and fix that really quickly. Height is 2 pixels. Let's set it to 3. And yes, the 3 will fit perfectly. And now let's change that autoplay color. Let's go here to the settings, previously selecting the autoplay tabs div. Open the settings, and at the bottom you can see this progress bar color. It's set to this hex code, but let's change it to be white. And if I'm not mistaken, the hex code for the white is 3Fs. And now when I hit save and go back again, hit refresh, it will be white. And yes, I'm not mistaken, it's 3Fs. And now you can see when it comes to the end, it just switches the tab. And you can see that everything is the same because I only changed the content on the first tab, and the second, third, and fourth still have these placeholder texts. Now you can also see that this hover animation is too blinky, so let's firstly change that. Let's go to this tab opener, which we set the hover animation to, and let's go all the way to the bottom and set the transition of ease again. And now it shall work. And yes, you can see how it works smoothly, and when I click, it works perfectly. And let's see here in the tab opener, you could see this DH active class instance. And what does it do? Well, you could notice that when this text is active, it turns to be white and not this gray-like color. And that is made through this DH active. When I select it, you could see that this color is set to be white. And if you want your text to be in a different color when it's in focus, you can just change the color here, or you can even set all the other properties here. So to turn off this instance, just click on it again and you can normally edit your tag. Now let's do some final touch about these tabs. Let's change the speed, I don't like it, and let's add one more feature here. Let's again select autoplay tabs, go to the settings and the options. Now let's go and set the delay. Let's increase it, let's say 8 seconds. That is the delay between switching of my tabs, so I'll go with 8 seconds. And let's check this handy option called disable on interaction. Now let's hit save. And when I refresh it, you'll see that it takes much more time my navigation uh, to switch. But what if you want to read this text and let's say you have much more text here and the user won't have this much time to read it? Well, when I select manually this tab here, you will notice that the autoplay stops, and that is because this option is set on. This basically means when I manually interrupt navigations, when I switch them manually, the autoplay will stop. So this is pretty handy option. And you can see that on their website they have this slide-like animation for tabs. Currently Divhunt doesn't contain that animation into the tabs plugin. In the future we will have it, but currently we will go with this simple fade animation. So second part here and the final part would be to change the content on the second, third and fourth tabs. I'll just go and change it on second. I won't go with third and fourth because this video will be too long if I go and change all the things like that. So how can I do that? I just need to select autoplay tabs, go to the tabs and open the tab, just input the value 2. And now you will see here that my second tab is now active, and through that option I can open any tab I like. Now let's go again on the original website and let's copy their content because we are making identical replica. So I can go again here and do all that boring part. So again, here is that empty space. I don't like it, so I'll just remove it. And for the button, I'm pretty sure it said learn more. Learn more. And we would need again as well to change the image. They have this chip here. So let's select our image here. Let's upload. Yes, it is. So now when I hit save, my image will be uploaded. Now let's select autoplay tabs again and let's put it to 1 because we want our tabs to start from the first, go to the second, third and so on. So let's go here, hit refresh, and now you will see as we set it, after the 8 seconds pass, the second tab will be opened and you can see that we successfully changed the content. When I switch them manually, the autoplay will stop. But there is one issue here. You can see how my image is, the end of my image is visible here. But when I go on their website, you can see that at the bottom side, they have this gradient like, and their image is going in full width of a section. So let's make this on our website as well. So firstly, I want this image to go in the width of a section and not in a width of this content. So let's go here and let's set our here section to be relative. So our section, so our image can be sticked to it. So let's go here, set it to be relative, and let's go. We would need to make some changes to our structure here. So let's check how we set the height of 610 pixels here. So we would need to copy this value and set it to our image as well. So let's just set this content not to be relative, so our image can be sticked to the section, not on the div here. So I can just reset it and you will see that this image now goes in full width, but it goes over my navigation links, and that's because it doesn't contain any height. So let's go and input 610 pixels, not percents. And again, make sure it's covered here so it doesn't get stretched or distorted. It will be perfect. And now the only thing left to do here would be to set that gradient, and again we can go to their live site and let's say steal their design for that. So here I will need to find where they set it. So again, this is no, this is my website. I'm looking in the wrong place. So let's inspect it and let's try to find where they set. Oh, here it is. It's the bottom gradient class and I hit it from the first try. Nice. And its background image is this linear gradient. So I can again go with this method, just copy it, and let's paste that to this. Yeah, why not? Let's paste it on this content here. Or no, let's go. Where would be best to paste this option? Let's go with this content here. Yes, it would be best to paste it on the content. I can select my content div, select custom code, and just paste it here like that. When I hit save, it's not visible. So let's check out if it's visible on the live site. And let's see what happens here. You can see that my image here changed as well. That's because I changed its properties, so it's changed everywhere, but it doesn't contain a gradient. So I wonder why. Let's try and set this gradient directly on an image to see if this will do anything. And here it misses 2 dots. Maybe that's the reason it didn't work. So let's again. No, I'm pretty sure that I just copied wrong. Yes, I need background image here. So yes, let me add that menu back. Ground that dash image and then 2 dots, and I can remove it from here. Now when I hit save, I hope that it added a gradient, but I cannot see it here. So let's hit refresh, and still it's not visible here. Pretty interesting. Let's go and see here if we have anything. Oh, it bugged out for a second. And yeah, I cannot see those changes here. So let's again try and copy this one more time and setting it directly on a content. Let's hope it will work not in the settings, but at the top, custom code, and let's paste it here. Now when I hit save, again, nothing happens. So let's just ignore this method. It doesn't work here for some reason. And again, let's go and remove it from here as well. I don't want this unused extra code. So let's see. One of the methods would be to go with a div. So let's go and make one div here. How I did this is basically I hit Control E on my keyboard to open this search and open this bar here. So let's name this div gradient. And again, you have various ways to do this, but I'll do it through div. And now let's make this div absolute, just like my image, because I want it to go all over my image. And because of that, I would need to have exactly the same height as my image. And I think, yes, it works perfectly. Now let's again go back and copy these stylings and let's paste them here. Background image, it says linear gradient. Okay, so you can now see that my gradient is actually visible. So I made a mistake before. So let's now go to the live site and test it out. And yes, now you can actually see the gradient. And let's change this image on the first tab. It annoys me to be the same image on the both places. So let's just go here and set this image. So let's refresh it, and now it refreshed it again on the 2 places. Oh, I know why, but let's not let's actually change it. I don't want it to be like this, so let's go here and let's set this gradient. You can see how when I click on this image it selects my gradient. Let's change that. Let's select my gradient and let's go all the way to the bottom. And let's make pointer events none. This basically means my gradient div will be here, but it won't be clickable. I cannot interact with this div. Now you can see when I click here, it selects my image and not my div. So this is a good thing to do. And now let's change this image actually. Let's set again this chip here. And when I go back to my first tab, I hope it will be different. And yes, it is. So now when I go here, you can see autoplay works, hover works, and when I switch them, they have gradient. This third and fourth, I want to change content because it will take too much time. And here you can see how I said before, this text is in 2 rows, this is in 1 row. So if I didn't set that fixed height, they will tabs will automatically resize when switched, and it will start like blinking, and it wouldn't look nice. So that's why I used fixed height. And with this, I'd say that this section is completed. And yes, I cannot see anything that lacks on my page here. Yes, that's it. I can go to the next section, and that will be this featured products. So let's start building that section. Well, firstly, I'm going to go back here to the design, close this section, and into the body tag, add new section. And let's close this here. It annoys me. Let's call it featured products. So let's go here, featured products. Let's type in that correctly. Let's put one container, and inside of a container, let's put one div, which is going to be wrapper. So it will be best for you to name all of your tags that you're using, because it's a lot easier to organize. You can see that I know which div here is progress line. I know which section here is hero section. So the best practice is to name all of your tags. First thing I like to do, okay, not in Figma, that is misclick. First thing I like to do is set the spacing in my section. So let's go and see in the inspect tool how much we need it here. We needed 55 pixels at the top, and here we have some extra space that I didn't want to input because it would be too much for my tabs. It's I'd say 55 pixels. Let's go with top padding here and set it to be 110 pixels. And here we have our extra spacing at the top. And while I'm here, I'll check as well how much is my bottom space. So let's check it out here. It's 55 pixels. So let's go here and let's input 55 pixels. Of course, you can input these values, for example, as margins on your sections, or you can input them. I could do that as margin on my container, on my wrapper, but it's not a good practice. The best way to organize your layers is to set those paddings on your section directly. So now let's go here and select wrapper, and again Figma. I don't want Figma. Let's go here. Let's turn this my best friend off for now. Here I would need heading. I would need 3 interactable cards. 2 of them will have links, and 1 of them will have plain paragraph, and all 3 of them will contain this image here. So pretty simple section at the first glance. So let's see if it will be simple to build. Firstly, what I will need to have in my wrapper is one div, which is going to be grid, because I'm going to use grid structure in this section. And now inside of it, I'm going to put one div, which is going to be my card. Now, before I continue with cards, I would need this edge here, a heading here. So let's check out how the size of this heading. It's 28 pixels. I think it's 20. I have 30 pixels heading here. It's H3 probably. Let's take a look. And yes, it's H3 with 30 pixels, but it's not a good practice to jump from H1 directly to H3. It would be best between them to have H2. And let's do that here. Let's add another heading here, which is going to be H2. And let's add class to it, which will be named H3. And it will have all the settings that my H3 has. So it's basically just 30 pixels font size and font weight. I don't need to change it because H2 is already bold. And now you can see that my H2 and H3 are exactly the same, but I went with hierarchy, how it needs to be in order for my website to work correctly on screen readers. and some SEO softwares. So let's remove this H3 because we don't need it. And now let's see how spacing works here. It's 16 pixels bottom margin. So let's go here and set 16 pixels directly on my tag. Now I can go and work with my cards. Firstly, one image, second, one heading. And let's see the size of that heading. It's 20 pixels. I think it's H5 here. So let's just open card. Let's change image first. And let's say if it's uploaded here, and it is, thankfully. You can see that this image is massive, and I can fix that right at the beginning. I can just select this grid here, grid div, and set it to be grid. I need 3 cards, so I'll go with 3 columns, and you can see that it reduced the size of this image because it created 2 extra spaces here. And now, next thing we have here is this heading of, let's again check out just in case. The margin of this image is, let's see, while I'm here, it's 26 pixels, and this heading here is 20 pixels and 16 pixels in margin bottom. So let's firstly add 26 pixels to this image and go and set. Again, we will respect the hierarchy and set H3 here. Let's pull it at the top. No, it's at the bottom, my mistake, sorry. And we need to have 16 pixels here, but this heading here is 30 pixels. We want it to be 20 pixels. So again, we will use the class method and name it H5 because our H5 contains 20 pixels font size. So you can see that now my H3 contains the font size of 20 pixels. And I can reuse it later on with simple class name like H5, and here is H3. So let's continue. Right away, I can add, let's turn this off. I don't need it. So I will need this simple text link here. So let's add a link button here. And this, let's see how this link button contains spacing, and come on, let me see that spacing, and here it is. It's 26 pixels again. And the last thing here would be to add the button. So again, I can go back to the style sheet. I need this outline button, so I can just copy it, go back here and paste it inside of my card. Now you can see how it's stacked a bit weirdly. That's because this link button is inline and I want it to be inline block, and this link button is again inline, and let's set on a class the inline block, and for some reason it didn't work. Let's go with block here, and yes, it will fix it. You need sometimes to experiment with values. And now the only thing left here is to change this link button background text color. It's this predefined blue that we have. And now let's change the texts here. So firstly, let's go with a heading here. Then let's go with the name of this product. And let's go with this link. Find retailers is the description of this button. Find retailers. And that's it. Right away, what I can do is make this hover animation of underline. So let's go here and select hover state, go all the way here, select the underline, and I can turn off the hover state. Now let's turn on the live site. And now when I hover in, you can see how it creates this underline. And of course, this button contains this hover effect. Now let's go and duplicate this card 3 times. With Divhunt, I can use the loop option and it's created. Now let's see what we have here. We have this PC here and this GPU here. So let's right away copy this text and let's paste it here, and let's right away change this image here. So I need this full PC for the second, and for the third I need this GPU, so I can change it like that. Let's firstly change this heading. I'll explain you later on why. Let's change this one and learn more, and find the retailers is here, so I just need to change this one. And now you can see that this structure here works like this. I have a link here, simple paragraph here, and link here. With loop structure, you cannot just go here, remove it, and add simple paragraph. It will remove it everywhere. But there is something, let's call it a workaround here. So what you can do in this situation? Well, you can add one simple paragraph here and place it here, and you can paste it all the stylings that this one contains. Here I don't want hover, I just want 26 pixels of bottom margin, so I can do this. And now I can work with two methods here. Firstly, I can select the tag I want to hide. I can select it here directly on a canvas, go to the settings, here into the visibility, I can just click here and click on hide. You will notice that only this here is hidden. I have it here and I have it here. Now I want to hide this one and this one because I want links to stay here. And how can I do that? Again, directly on a canvas, I will select this paragraph and add one class. Let's call it hidden. To that class, I will set display to none, and I will set it to be important, just in case, in some cases, some other stylings can override it. I want this method, this styling here, to be absolute and nothing can override it. So let's go here and reuse that class. And you can see that now I'm left with links here and simple paragraph here. So now I can go back and just copy this text, paste it into my project, and here it is. Now, only thing that is left is, let me check out if that's the case. And yes, to make this extra spacing between cards, it's 17 plus 17, it's 34. So let's go to the grid, go here, set the gap to be 34, and let's set the row gap as well, because it will be useful in the responsive. And now, let's check it on the live side. You can see that we can now have these hover animations, these cards, and we have this paragraph and these links here. It looks exactly the same like this section, and I'm pretty satisfied how this looks like. But now let me just, yes, this container here is way wider than mine. So let's again go to the Figma and try to find out the width of their container. So I'm not sure if it will allow me. And yes, it wouldn't, but let's, it's for 1420. So let's go here and let's set that on my container globally this time. It's 1420 pixels, and I need to take in these paddings, so it would be 60 here, because 1420 pixels plus 20 is this much. And now when I hit enter, let's go again back, and now you can see that these two sections, when I quickly switch between tabs, are identical. And after we made all of this, I'm going to stop this video here in order to not make it too long, because we have a lot of job to do here, so this video would take too much. I'm going to stop it here and I'm going to continue in the next part, so see you there.